If you've ever been told that you need to get out more, or ever felt judged for not being the life of the party, then you might have started wondering, what's wrong with me? What if I told you though, that your craving to be home is actually a sign of your emotional intelligence? I want to reframe everything that you thought you knew about rest, retreat, recharging, and I want to explain to you why you're wired the way that you are and why you might actually be doing life better than everybody else. So let's talk about the psychology of people who love staying at home and why they might actually be the ones that are doing it right. The first thing is that your nervous system feels safe when you're at home. We live in a chronically overstimulated world. There's noise, there's notifications, there's obligations, there's other people's energy. And for some people, especially those that might have a history of trauma or ADHD, or maybe even highly sensitive nervous systems, the outside world can feel like a constant assault on your senses. And so staying at home isn't avoidance. It's not being shy. It's your intuitive regulation. It's the nervous system finally getting a chance to rest and not feel like it has to be on guard. It's where you get to exhale. It's where you don't have to scan the room and perform for other people or brace for something that could be unexpected. And so I want you to understand you're not weak. You're just more intuitively wired to be aware of what you and your nervous system needs. And that is a really powerful trait. The second thing is that in solitude, you are actually able to recharge through that solitude and not through socializing. So let's get this straight. Introversion is not the same as being shy. Introversion means that you lose energy around people, but you gain it in solitude. So like extroverts, they get energy from being around people. Introverts get energy from being by themselves. And if you're someone who notices everything, every facial expression, tone shifts, people's moods before they say a word, then your brain is constantly absorbing all of that. And it can be too much. So by the time you get home, you're like, I'm full. I need to rest. And it's okay to rest and recharge in your safe space. You don't need more socializing. What you need is more stillness. And that's not being antisocial, it's being energetically intelligent. And so you're not abandoning yourself. You're giving yourself what you need more than anything else. So don't let anybody else try to change that. And we will be right back. Hey, I want to interrupt today's episode to tell you about my sponsor. It is me, myself. If you didn't know, I obviously have some coaching programs outside of the podcast to help you learn and grow and become a better version of yourself. Step-by-step programs and processes to help you become better in your life and create the life that you want. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to coachwithrob.com. Once again, coachwithrob.com. Check it out. And let's get back to the episode. And then the third thing is that home is the first place that you might actually feel in control. If you grew up in chaos, if you've ever walked on eggshells or lived in survival mode or felt like you're too much for other people, then you might have had a past where you felt like you never had control. And so constantly you had to be on guard or perform and be somebody else. And if that's you, then listen, your home might be the first place that you finally get to say, this is mine, these are my rules, this is safe. You get to decorate how you want. You get to light the candles that you want. You pick the playlist that you want. You choose who gets in your house and who doesn't. And so it's not about closing off. It's about being in a space where you're fully autonomous, maybe for the first time in your entire life. And so let me be the first one to tell you if that is you, then it's okay. But here's where we actually get to go a little bit deeper. Sometimes what protects you can also trap you as well. So let's ask the real question. Are you staying at home because it nourishes you, or are you staying at home because you're afraid to be seen? Because you can be safe and still growing. You can protect your peace and still stretch your comfort zone. You can stay at home and still live a big, bold life. But it starts with being honest about what you're actually in. Like, what season are you in? Is it rest or is this retreat? And to be honest, some of the most creative and driven and self-aware people that I know are homebodies. Because when you stop trying to keep up with the rest of the world, you get to actually start creating a world that actually works for you. And that's spiritual maturity. So you're not really missing out. You're actually tuning in. You're not avoiding life. You're actually curating your own life. And if that makes people uncomfortable, good. You weren't born to fit in other people's paces. You were born to find your own rhythm. And so my challenge for you is this: instead of forcing yourself to go out more to prove that you're doing okay, start asking yourself a really important question. What does my nervous system actually need right now? That one question, asked consistently, can change your entire life.